Welcome to the Healthy Christian Podcast. This podcast is dedicated to empowering Christians to live a fulfilled life by integrating biblical principles with practical steps. Whether you're seeking to deepen your faith, enhance your physical health, or improve your overall well-being, you're in the right place. Let's get started. All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Healthy Christian Podcast. This is Season 3, Episode 13, and we are going to be doing a recap of all the previous 12 episodes of this season. So hang on. It's going to be a fast, fun ride as we dive in and give you a quick little recap of what we've been talking about in this amazing season. So Episode 1, we talked about how to develop a healthy thinking framework. Your thoughts and how you develop that is really important. And we talked about just mentally how to have guardrails and the importance of boundaries in your life and recognizing that your thoughts have patterns and they move in specific ways that whether you're intentional or unintentional about it, that your thoughts may be controlling your life and how we need to be focused on having a positive thinking framework and injecting the kind of thoughts that we want to have in our life, and that you can control your thinking patterns if you are aware of it. So some practical next steps that we had from this episode was to begin to cultivate a positive, healthy mindset by creating the kind of just being aware of the kind of thinking framework that you have and the type of where do your thoughts go kind of thinking, paying attention to that, writing it down, being aware of your thoughts. In Episode 2, we talked about shifting your perspective. Yes, we all have a perspective and things that we see and how we see the world around us. And we talked about just acknowledging that there's different perspectives. You have a perspective, I have a perspective, other people have a perspective about the situation. So just be aware of that. Be curious about the other perspectives that's out there that people have. Seek to know their perspectives. Have reflection about how other people are seeing things. Ask for questions, ask for feedback. It's really going to help you open up your mind and to be able to see all the other ways to view a situation. And even if you don't take other people's advice, and even if you think that their perspective is wrong, it will train your mind to zoom out and to see things in a different light. Episode 3, we talked about the power of proactive thinking. Your thoughts matter, so you need to be intentional with your thoughts and actually taking time to think. This may sound crazy because we think all day long, but actually carving out time in your day to think well, to pick a topic, pick a subject, pick something you want to improve on, and to think about that. Really challenge your mind to focus in on that. This trains your mind. This begins to teach your mind how to think well and to limit distractions, remove distractions out of your life. The things that really mud up healthy thinking, remove those out of your life, take time and really pay attention to the thoughts that are coming up in your mind. So if you can be proactive in your thinking, take time out of your day, out of your week to think well, this will really benefit your life. But if we acknowledge we can't always have great proactive thinking and to think everything through. So Episode 4, we talked about what does it mean to manage our reactive thoughts? We have thoughts, maybe we've had actions, and now what do we do about that? And just realizing that some of our thoughts could be negative and have negative impacts in our life. And even though we could be in negative results from our thinking, beginning to shift that into, well, how can I make this better? Taking that reactive shift that maybe didn't go the way you want it, and now beginning to transform that into something that can be productive and turn into proactive thoughts in your life. So some practical things to think about is getting other people to help you in transforming these thoughts back into positive thought. You need people in your life that can give you some feedback to really help you begin to process this. So don't process scenarios and situations alone. Begin to invite other people in to help you find, hey, how could I have done that better? How could this situation been better? In episode 5, we talked about how to develop healthy thinking habits. You already have thinking habits, whether you know it or not, but how do we develop thinking habits? And one of the key things to this is having times of reflection once a week, being able to reflect on your thoughts and looking back on your thoughts and being aware how your thinking influenced your behavior, your actions, your attitude, and just know that your thinking is influencing all of these things. So it's important to understand that we need guardrails, we need healthy thinking habits in our life. So who are some people in your life that you feel like have great habits, have great thinking structure? They're always positive. Begin to figure out more about that person. Maybe sit down with them, go meet with them, and figure out how do they stay focused and healthy all the time? And what are some practical things you can do in your life to develop healthy thinking habits? Episode 6, we talked about understanding the truth. And this is really important because there's many sides, or what people think there's many sides of the truth, but there's really one truth, and God defines what is truth and in his word. And a lot of times this don't always align with the way we want things to happen or we want things to do. So it's important to understand that we need humility in our thinking and in our pursuit of truth, to understand that, hey, my thoughts may not always be the best. It may not always be the right answer. I need other people in my life that are going to help me, challenge me, and build me up. So humility is a really key component to seeking truth, because if you feel like you already know the answer of the truth, you won't actually seek out the full truth, which could really be helping you and could benefit your life. Episode 7, we talked about the importance of honor. And honor is so important to having healthy thinking habits, because honor makes us think positive about other people. It makes us uplift them, encourage them. Honor lifts people up. It elevates them. This is really important because it makes us look for the good in other people and in situations. So focusing on positivity when we go to honor people or honor situations, it really helps. Hey, I want to let you know you can't over-honor, because honor is intentionality. It's not just bragging on somebody, but it's really finding key things that they have done or do, or even in your own life, that is worthy of praise. So honor is a key into thinking healthy. Episode 8, we talked about the word justice and how justice ties into our relationships. And to pursue justice is to pursue right relationships. It's not always to make yourself right or to be right, but to make the situation right, make the relationship right. So what's getting in the way of a relationship? A lot of times the word justice in America is kind of proving that one person was right and the other person was wrong. But this is really, hey, how do we reconcile the relationship and putting relationships first as we pursue justice? So if you pursue justice in the mindset of, hey, I want to be right, I want to prove myself right, then you could end up hurting people or making things worse. So justice, pursuing justice in our thinking is really important. Episode 9, we talked about the concept of purity and to be pure in our thoughts. And really this word purity is talking about being innocent in our thinking patterns, because we could portray ourselves as innocent people. We can put on a face, a facade, and make ourselves look good, but in the inside, we can be hating someone or thinking negativity or thinking of ways to hurt other people. But really being pure of heart, Scripture talks about this. Search me, O God, know my heart, know my inner thoughts. And so pursuing purity really begins to transform your mind by making sure that you are renewing yourself, that you are giving your thoughts to God to allow Him to heal them, restore them, and make them pure. This will really help you a lot in having healthy thinking patterns. Episode 10, we talked about embracing what is lovely. And this is a key thing for us to focus on, because this is not just the word lovely as like, oh, that flower was lovely or that movie was lovely, but kind of going back to the word honor, like what deserves praise? What deserves my focus, my attention? What are the things that are so good that I need to be zoomed in on that? You know, a lot of times when we're not focused on the right things, we begin to focus on the wrong things. A lot of times the negative things. So in order to have healthy thinking, we have to be focused on the things that are lovely, that are great about not only ourselves, but of other people. So this is a really important concept for you to understand and grow in healthy thinking. Episode 11, we talked about the word commendable, and the reason why this word, to commend someone or to admire them or to focus on the genuineness of someone, is the power of a compliment. And again, I'm not talking about something where you just like, hey, I'm just going to say this so you feel good and I feel good. No, the true power and authenticity of a compliment. To truly compliment someone is to truly see what they're doing, the impact that they're making, and to elevate that, to bring it to light. You know the power of a true compliment in your life when someone has spoken something great over you or encouraged you. So we need to be looking for that in other people, to highlight that, to find that, maybe to bring what is unseen to the scene. And this is why we need people in our life, because a lot of times we don't see the good in ourselves. We don't know the great things that we are doing and how we're accomplishing things. So you being intentional and calling that out in other people will make a great difference, not only in your life, but in theirs. In episode 12, we talked about the word excellence. And this word excellence is a great subject because it's not talking about being perfect, and it's not talking about not ever making mistakes, but of focusing on the things that are going to help shape your life in a healthy way. So it's really important for you to understand we need to learn, we need to grow, we need to constantly be open-minded and pursue excellence. Sometimes we can just settle for mediocre things and we can be like, you know what, my life is okay or my life is good. But man, what if your life could be great? What if God has more for your life and he wants to open more doors and more opportunities in your life? So pursuing excellence is a key to healthy thinking, to have hope for something, to look forward to a future that God has maybe planned out for you. So really important concept to wrap up with season 12, thinking about the excellent things that God has for our future. So I really want to encourage you, as we reviewed these episodes, if one of them stood out to you or you would like to know more about that, go back, listen to the full episode, dive in. You'll get to hear all the content, notes, next steps, and practical things that you can do to really help you live out how to live healthy mentally. I'm so excited for this journey, and I'm looking forward to hearing the great things that you've gotten out of this and what God has done in and through your life. Have a great week, and I look forward to talking with you in the future. Thank you for tuning in to the Healthy Christian Podcast. Now it's your turn to put these principles we've discussed into action. We'd love to hear how they've impacted you. Please rate, review, and share the podcast with others. Join us on social media to continue the conversation and share your insights. Until next time, stay healthy.